Hello, good morning, and welcome to the third edition of Close Up and Personal. I'm Brian Kaler. You know, in the past year, we have received quite a few letters from viewers who have been comparing our show with the Barbara Walters interview program. Now, that's all fine and good, except that complaints are being expressed. That's right, they're saying that the show is just not controversial enough, that the guests are too nice, that they're too clean cut, and that they're too all-American. They're saying that the host is a little bit dull and boring, but no longer. That's right. In today's show, we're going to prove them all wrong. We're going to have controversy for them. In fact, look at here. I might look neatly dressed, but no, look, I've got thongs on and a pair of jeans. That's right. And not only that, I might look a little different too. That's right. Look at here. I've got a mustache this time. Barbara Walters can't even do that one. And not only that, but our close-up and personal investigators have come across some real dirt. That's right. We've got photographic evidence of one of the guests on this show tonight on pot. That's right. You heard me correctly. Look at here as we see Martin Onken stooping so low to be on pot. Take a look at this and we'll get into that interview right now. As a small child, Martin Onken was often mistaken as a foreign agent. Supposedly here, he's receiving radio messages from the underground. Even today, Martin explains he is often misidentified.
One of the more embarrassing things that's always happened to me is that people have a hard time guessing my nationality. I don't know why people even bother to ask, but they do, and I get a lot of real strange guesses. You know, I get the old traditional, well, you've got to be Mexican, or you've got to be Chinese or Japanese. I had one not so good friend anymore call me a harbor bomber one time.
Sit down, please.
But I get a lot of other guesses. The real unique ones are the ones like where people think I'm Hawaiian or Samoan or think I'm an Eskimo, and they keep asking me what it's like up in Alaska. I've had some people ask me if I'm Cambodian or Vietnamese. When it's particularly embarrassing, you know, is when I'm walking down the street or in a market or somebody, and somebody will start speaking to me in Spanish or in Japanese or something, and you know, they will have gotten out a whole conversation before I can kind of break in and say, oh, sorry, you know, I didn't understand a word what you said. And that's always something that's really kind of embarrassing to me. So when I tell people that I'm Dutch Indonesian, well, then I've got to go into a whole half-hour dissertation about what Dutch Indonesian is and how those two nationalities got together, and so I end up giving a history lesson on a lot of my first visits with people. I've been raised here in the San Fernando Valley. I went to school and was raised in Glendale. I wasn't born there. I was born in Holland, in the Netherlands. And my family immigrated here to the United States when I was 5. Ever since then, I'd lived in Glendale and gone to school there.
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. That's where I was born. But my dad was an officer in the Air Force, so we traveled a lot. I've lived all over. I've lived overseas, a lot of places in the U.S., probably more years in Texas, various parts of Texas, than any place else. So I guess I really consider myself a Texan. And when he retired out of Fort Worth. And I came out here from Fort Worth in 1973. So I've been here quite a lot of years now. And
well, Debbie and I met. I was driving down Sunset Boulevard, and she was thumbing on the side of the road, wearing this mini dress and purple makeup and pink hair.
okay,
So I stopped and went around the block twice. Nobody picked her up yet. I felt so sorry for her. I offered her a quarter for a cup of coffee, but she wouldn't take it.
Okay.
She wanted to ride.
Start over again.
Okay.
Tell the truth this time.
No, really, we both were pretty serious, straight-laced people. We met about 6.5 years ago, almost 7 years ago, going to school at night. And we had different majors, but just by luck, we both ended up in the same political science class. And she needed a lot of help in that class, so I was just the lucky person that got to tutor her. I ended up ignoring all the other women in the class just to pay attention to her, and it paid off. We had a real quick romance. It was really one of those romances where we swept each other off our feet. And we met, I guess it was September, or maybe early October, and we were married the following February. We've continued that romance on to today, I have to say that. It was real interesting the way we met, because we both have a habit of trying to be leaders in the classes that we attend, and so we both in the beginning didn't really like each other too much because we were vying for attention and leadership in the class. We finally, after several weeks of battling it out and giving each other nasty looks across the room, decided that we should consummate such a relationship by going out on a date. And after that, we let our guards down and got to know each other personally rather than as students, and it worked out real well.
I know what it was. He was working for Disney then, and on our first date, we talked about our favorite Disney films, which I really like Disney films. And I told him that my favorite movie was 101 Dalmatians, and on our third date, he brought the movie to my house and showed it to me, and that made such a big impression on me. I think that's when I decided I was in love with it, because he brought me the Disney movie. I was so impressed that he remembered it, and it was just a nice thing, not what your average guy out there usually would do something like that.
One of the things that was real interesting when we first started going out was that we were, like I said, a little bit at odds with each other because we were both competitive in this class we were in. And I finally had gotten the nerve up to ask her out for a date, and in trying to do this, I was following her around, like you do when you're trying to make an impression on a girl and charm her. And so I offered to walk her to her car after this class. And we were going to school at night at Cal State Northridge. And it was really funny because I was so nervous and she was so nervous that we ended up wandering around the campus, I'm sure a lot longer than we needed to. And she couldn't find her car. And so we both walked around for the parking lot for must have been a half hour, making this great, charming impression on each other, waiting till the parking lot emptied out until we could eliminate the number of cars there just so we could find hers. And that really helped break the ice.
Very embarrassed.
So then I finally ask her for the date, and she accepts, and I make arrangements to come get her. And I say, okay, well, give me your phone number, and I'm not really even sure what your name is. And all she would write her name down is Debbie P. She wouldn't tell me your last name. She gave me her phone number, but wouldn't tell me your last name.
I had such an awful last name.
My introduction to the church was really a kind of a gradual thing rather than my having really gone out and looked for a church to join. I had been raised Catholic all my life and gone to Catholic grade school and high school and college and everything, and for a long time that seemed to be a pretty satisfying belief to me. I was relatively at peace with myself. I was non-practicing for a long time in my young adulthood, and really didn't think too much about religion or about God other than trying to be a good person for a lot of years until we got married. And when we got married, we started our family, and we thought, well, it's time to round out our home life, not only by sharing this love that we have, but also by developing some kind of religious and moral teaching in our family. So we started thinking again about which faiths really, of all of the ones that were available to us, would be good for us to participate in. And I had, throughout the years, come in contact with several Mormon people who, whether they were practicing or not, always seemed to be real friendly, real outgoing, real together and warm people. And Debbie was a Mormon. She had been converted to the religion about when she was, I think, 15 or 14. And she had a lot of good things to say about it, so I thought, well, sheesh, why don't we give it a try and see what happens? So we started going to the services, and I basically wanted to go just to observe. I wasn't really going to commit to anything, and my first thoughts were, well, gee, it's not Catholicism, but it seems like there are a lot of good people here, so I'll go for the kids. and it'll be a good place for the kids to get a good religious background. And as I started going and started meeting more and more people, gradually my interest started growing about the faith and about the people and about the history of the church. And I started reading a little bit about it and talking to different people about it, but never really wanted to commit to anything until one day, through my job, I travel quite a bit, and one of the places that I travel to is Salt Lake City. And so one evening I thought, well, heck, you know, here I am in Salt Lake, and if I'm going to find out anything about the Mormon faith, I better do it right. So I went over to the visitor center and took the tour. And I was real impressed by that. I finally decided that I wanted to hear the full pitch, and so I signed up for the missionary lessons and had the missionaries come out just a few months later. By that time, I had really gotten into some serious debates about what I was doing here, because I felt like I was betraying my old faith for a new one. And I think the biggest lesson out of all of the missionary lessons that I learned was that when you have a problem like that you pray about it and that you go directly to the Lord with it. And that, more than anything, impressed me about the missionaries and about their message. And that really is what, in the end, convinced me to join the church. And so I've been a member now about, I don't know, about 9 or 10 months now.
No, it was a year in June.
Has it been a year?
It was a
Okay.
year in June.
It's been a year. And it's been really a good experience. We've moved around quite a bit and been members of 3 or 4 different wards now in the last 2 years. But I got to say, everywhere we were really warmly received, and especially in this ward now, we're really feeling really at home.
In case you haven't already noticed, there are more to the Onken family than just Martin and Debbie.
We have 4 kids altogether, and I want to start with the oldest one, who's Nicholas, my little boy. He's 5.5 years old, and he's going to be starting school tomorrow, and we're all real proud of that. His big goal in starting school is that he can learn to read. Nicholas has got a lot of hobbies, and his main thing in life is that he wants to be an artist, and he wants to be good at everything. And so we're all helping him to be a good artist. The next one we have in line is 4 years old, and her name is Natalie. Natalie is real special to us. She's our oldest girl, but she's also special because she was born at home. We had her totally naturally, and we had her at home, and that makes her real close to us. Her special interest is that she's real helpful. She always gives me her opinion about everything. She lets me know when I'm wrong, and she lets me know when she wants me to do something different than what I'm doing. Next in line after that, we have Chelsea. This is Chelsea right here. Chelsea's our little girl, and Chelsea just turned 2 years old. Chelsea is our good communicator. She's our lover little girl, and she's really special to us. After Chelsea, we have the newest addition to the family, which is another little boy, Skylar. And Skylar is just about 8 weeks old now. We also had Skylar naturally, as all of our children we had naturally that we're real proud of. Skylar is real unique in that he came out a junior in high school. He was a real big baby. He was almost 10 pounds, 13 ounces. And that's really our family right now. We're really engrossed in raising these kids because they're all 5 years and under. And believe me, they're really full-time.
Before Martin takes us on a 2-cent tour of his home, we wanted to show you 2 other additions to the Onken family. A ferocious killer rabbit and, of course, the family cat.
Here we go. This is the main entry to the house, and you guessed it, that's the front door. The wanted posters. As you can see, this is a very well-used homey kitchen. This is about how it looks every day. We've always got dishes stacked up because we're the family of 6. As you know, there's always somebody eating. Here's our dining area. We have all our family meals, our family meetings, and our family prayers here at the dining table. Off to the right are all the kids' bedrooms, and to the left is the master bedroom. Here's the master bedroom, and Skylar's bedroom also right now. Nicholas's and Natalie's bedroom, you're right. Nicholas sleeps in the top bunk. Natalie sleeps underneath. That's Nicholas's easel over there, where Nicholas does all his artwork. This is Chelsea's bedroom and Skylar's bedroom. Skylar hasn't moved in yet. He's still sleeping with us, but pretty soon we hope to get him in here. This is my office where I run my business out of. I'm working out of my home as I start this new business. And I cleaned it up especially for this movie. Usually it's really a mess. What I do for a living, well, I'm a salesman. I sell industrial products, and I've changed jobs several times in the last few years. Just recently, I started my own company, about a month ago, really, selling industrial products here locally in Southern California. I specialize in a certain type of product that's called a mechanical seal. Now, I get a lot of jokes about mechanical seals and the arf, 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 you know, when people have to guess what a mechanical seal is. But really, it's somewhat of a complicated product that goes into a pump that prevents a pump as it's moving around some liquid from leaking out from where you don't want it to leak. And it's a product that I've been involved with for about 12 years now, first in the design stages and later in selling. And it's really a pretty fascinating little item. It brings me to a lot of different places. I've been into nuclear power plants and seen how they work. I've been in refineries. I've been in just regular power plants. I've been in big chemical plants where the clothes practically get eaten off your body because of the acid fumes that are around. I've been in mines in Arizona. I've been in mines in Utah. I've been in gold mines in Nevada. And even now, I'm learning about some really new technologies that I never was exposed to before in the high-tech computer business. I'm calling on a lot of people in the wastewater plants and learning how they process wastewater, which is really quite a technical thing. And so it brings me to a lot of different types of plants, and I get a chance to meet a lot of different people.
New from Onco, it's the Super Sealer, the latest in high-tech mechanical sealers. It doesn't wheel, it doesn't deal, it doesn't even peel, but yes, it does seal practically anything your industrial plant desires. Now, how much would you expect to pay for this metallic beauty? $50? $100? $200? Well, believe it or not, we're practically giving it away for a mere $14.99.99. That's right, only $14.99.99. So call today for the Super Sealer by Onco, the mechanical wonder, guaranteed not to bark. Call now, 1-800-555-SUPER. That's 1-800-555-SUPER. Operators are